Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning, right?
I'm John Palacio.
And I am Brighton Cott.
And thank you for joining us this morning. It's a beautiful morning out. Already hot, Brighton.
Yeah.
It's already hot out there. My goodness.
It's warm, it's pretty warm, and there are a lot of people who are already up and going.
Yeah, but you know, that's a good thing. That's a good thing that a lot of people are actually up and going. I think, and I mentioned this to April last week, that since when the pandemic got started and people started you had to be locked up at home. The moment they reopened somewhat, people started to go out there and work out, so much so that it's now actually a part of your daily routine.
Right, certainly people are back on the hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
It's time to grind it out and make up for last time.
Oh, of course. And I back on the hustle, back on the bustle, and make it up and grind for last time. That's a great way to get things started, buddy, because honestly, that is the truth. And I believe that if Belizeans could get up every morning and be that kind of way, then we will definitely find some sort of success. I think that a lot of people tend to miss it, that things just don't happen. You need to go on out there and you need to try and find what you need so you could actually get through your day.
Absolutely. You got to get up and you got to put in that pound of work.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you know when they say 1 pound and 2 pound make 3 pounds.
Exactly.
So the more you have, the better it is for you. But that's a great start, like I mentioned. But first order of duty, buddy, is always to take a look at what the newscast showcased last night. And there were so many things, bro. There are so many things out there that's happening, that's occurring within our country. We know that the marijuana issue is definitely one that is raising its head. That's definitely one of the biggest issues. But before we get to that, there is definitely one issue that I think needs to be mentioned. And that's the situation with a BDF soldier killing a civilian in Orange Walk.
Yeah,
it's a tough situation, Brighton. And the toughest thing for me, and I mentioned this a while ago, earlier as well in the month or last week, it takes everybody for police, everybody. It takes all of us to get situations done. Now, they always say if we're to go far or you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, then we need to go together.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times we blame authorities and we blame this one and we blame that one, not knowing that it is upon all of us. When you talk about a government, it is upon all of us. Checks and balances, all of us. Policing, all of us. Getting over there, all of us. What are your thoughts on the situation?
No, there are a couple things that came out immediately or that struck my mind immediately because I saw the video and it was so graphic.
Yeah.
The first thing is there were a lot of people driving by when this incident was taking place.
What's happening?
And no one took the liberty to stop the incident from continuing on. That was the first thing that stood out to me. The second thing is, instead of stopping the incident, there were people who were recording the incident. To me, it speaks to a level of, one, disorientation of humanity that's happening within our community.
Yeah.
We are becoming so traumatized by some of the incidents, the violence that's happening in our country, that people do not want to get involved in situations where they could save a life. And the next thing that struck out to me is the fact that I feel many of our officers, whether it be police or BDF, they are not receiving the support, the mental support, the social support, because a lot of them are traumatized on the job.
Yes.
And it's reflecting in their behavior in the community and in their interaction with people. And so those were some of the things that struck immediately. And another thing that struck for me was the fact that we have this tendency to throw people behind truck backs. I cannot fathom or understand it. It's like you're picking up a dead carcass and you're throwing it into a truck. But we need to stop doing those things. To me, it really speaks to a level of inhumanity that it doesn't sit well with with people and the wider community.
Brighton, you know, this is definitely one that had me, and I'm right there with you in terms of people just going out there to record, nobody rendering aid, everybody just watching, and it was blatant. I mean, out in the open, my brother.
Yeah.
And the perpetrator actually just stomping on the person's face and stomping, so much so that in the video you could actually see somebody actually reenacting what he was seeing.
Yeah.
You're enabling the situation, and allegedly over a lighter. And you know, so you wonder what kind of society we're actually living in, and what do we want? Do we want likes or views? Is that what the world has come to? What happened to it takes a community to raise a child?
Right.
What happened to empathy for that person's family?
Right.
I'm glad that the perpetrator was caught, though, and everybody know the individual to be a BDF soldier. And so what are we going to do about it?
Yeah.
Do we need to push this through here and through there, and for some reason or the other there's something that would come out to say you know, he started it or some sort? It was in everybody's eyes. It was recorded front of everybody, bro. We should move away from that.
I must say I saw the Minister of Tourism, Anthony Marlowe, put out a public post saying that we need to take more responsibility as civilians as well and stop these things from happening. Instead of pulling out your phone and videoing the incident, try to intervene and save a life. I mean, how could one be so callous to just actually stand and watch someone being beaten to death?
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling. I cannot understand it.
It definitely, you know, it's going to eventually run like wildfire. It will continue to, because there are a lot of people who will be condemning such thing, because it's never supposed to occur like that. That is not the manner in which we discipline somebody. If that's, you know, if somebody took something away from me, we're supposed to have that conversation. But the bothering part, like you mentioned, is people just standing around recording it. And this guy lost his life. He could have been saved. His mother was out there actually pleading to the public, like, man, you know, with respect to throwing, you know, people into truck backs or carcasses, or like carcasses. I'll say this. You know, sometimes we will do what we have to do, and I'm Brighton, don't get me wrong. I know they try to correct any wrong, right? Yeah. But sometimes what we're going to do is that we're going to try our best to render aid in this situation. Yes, in a situation like that, because who knows? Maybe he was breathing at that time. Maybe he was not. So what we needed to do was to put him in there so we could rush him off to the hospital. That's actually the first line of help that they probably had. Right. You know, so I totally understand that situation. But you are right. You are right. Maybe what we need to do is to actually step up in technology and how we try to render aid to people with respect to where to put them. But the public should never, ever stand by and watch somebody get beaten like that. And I tell you what, I thought about it, and I said, but what if it was a woman? Would we actually still stand around and watch her get beaten? You know, so we're not taking care of each other like men, or because we're men. You know, so these are the things that come to mind. You know, that's the story, the biggest one that bothered my mind, and I oof, man. Yeah. I gotta calm down. Yeah, you know, because it's certainly a hard one to digest or even try to digest. And certainly looking at the video, I was just lost for words. I was lost for words. I was too. And, you know, like we mentioned, that's one of the stories making the news today, making the rounds. We just had to bring that one up first. But the biggest one definitely is the whole situation of marijuana. And, you know, it's, it's catching like wildfire again. And this is something that actually was proposed as soon as there was a change of government. We know that in the reign of the former government, or the former party, there was actually a decriminalization of 10 grams of marijuana, which I definitely think would be a step. But at the same time, decriminalization of 10 grams, but it is illegal. Now the conversation is, let's try to legalize it, which definitely have been put forward into the House, into the Senate, and I think there'll be another reading of it. the minister coming out to say it might be at the late stages now that NIAB and the NTUCB and the United Democratic Party is actually coming out, yes, to actually, yes, to take it to a referendum. What are your thoughts on this?
You know, I've taken the time with a group of other young professionals to actually go through the legislation. And I'm not an attorney, but I could certainly read and analyze and understand information. And certainly it had to go back to consultancy, the consultancy stage, and being able to get input from the wider community. Because there were some questionable parts of the legislation that needed to be revised. So I'm glad that they're taking the step back and they didn't ratify it in the Senate, and it's going back to consultancy to be tweaked. But in my perspective, my opinion, this is, go to a referendum. I don't think it's every single thing that we need to take to a referendum. Right. I feel that there are certain things that we could develop in terms of our industries. I do understand the concerns that it may have on society and the impacts on, for example, children and young people. That is, we cannot underestimate how important it is to take that into account. However, I felt as if though it was introduced at a moment where we're almost near the decision to actually implement it.
Right. So basically, you're nearly at the finish line, but somebody say you actually move with your left foot first. You should have a step on the line with your right foot. You know, somewhere along that line. But like I mentioned, Honorable Musa did mention that it might be at the late stage for these entities to actually come on out to say, hey, we need a referendum on it. You know, with your perspective or your thought of saying, you know what, done everything we carried a referendum and stuff like that. There are a lot of people who are actually on that band as well, on that wagon, whereby this is how we feel. People are actually looking at it from a standpoint of, and I think this is what GOB is doing as well, looking at it from a standpoint of economic growth. It's something that could eventually push the economy. We see the U.S. Making billions of dollars. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry in the U.S. now, and annually, a lot of money.
And certainly, if done well, it's something that we reap a lot of benefits from. I was in Canada in 2018 when they passed the legislation to legalize marijuana. And you started to see all the chain shops go up. So there was like New Leaf Emporium, there was Spirit Leaf, and you go into these places and how they have everything so well presented and organized. It definitely takes a lot of organization. I cannot stress that enough. Organization is critically important in ensuring the smooth implementation of an industry of this type.
I've seen it too in New York, being there in I think November last year, and they're like, whoop, up, that, up. I said, man, you know, but you know, it's always good to have checks and balances when it comes to dealing with anything from the government. And so for folks to come on out, or entities to come on out and say, hey, we need a referendum, it will definitely bring to light or bring the idea to some people to say, hey, yes, you know what, indeed. Or maybe people will start to pay attention to the information being dispensed by GOB. So there, you know, there are 2 pieces, 3 pieces, there are a lot of pieces to it. But that's indeed, Brighton, one of the news coming out from last night as well. That one will continue to blaze some fire. Will continue to blaze fire. There's also one more that I'd like to highlight. After weeks and weeks of new recoveries for coronavirus, after weeks and weeks of new recoveries over new cases, yesterday saw higher cases than new recoveries. Your thoughts? I
mean, if you're following what's happening in Europe or parts of Europe right now, we know that there has been a huge spike in COVID, as well as in China, where it originally started. They're actually saying that there is another variant that's unlike anything that we've seen before. And so those are certainly things that we need to keep our eye out for, especially when we begin to see cases starting to go up again. We have to be very vigilant and urgent.
And, you know, from the mere fact that the mighty U.S. is saying that it's making up for majority of their new cases daily, I could tell you that once they say that, knowing the amount of planes that arrive from the U.S. into our country, then there is a possibility it might just be around. Yeah. Yesterday there was, I think 15 new cases to 12 new recoveries. This for me now causes alarm. I mean, for me, this is my personal opinion, because whenever we see such thing, then we know for a fact that, we need to look out. Yeah. There was never a time you found new recoveries being lesser and new cases being more, and then there isn't a trend that follows thereafter. Right. So there are things that we need to look upon here. But let's continue to adhere to the protocol set out to us by the powers at be. If you need to go on out to get vaccinated, go on out to get vaccinated. Brighton, when I watch for we crew, they get their second shot. I'm jealous, mouth long. I swear, because I felt that, you know what, I want to be a part of the percentage that is actually doing to me the right thing. Yes, yeah. I got boosted. Brighton, nobody afraid for needle more than me, but I had to do the right thing. And I wanted to make sure that my family, primarily so, my friends, and everybody secured. Yeah. I want to make sure that I made sure that I am taking care of. So if they tell me, John, you need a fourth dose, hand, quick.
I was trying to run away from COVID for the past 2 years and
join the club.
When I got back to Finland, I had intended to actually get my booster shot, and I did not make it to my booster shot. Just because of the lots of traveling that we were doing, and I ended up getting COVID-19, and I had super horrible symptoms. Man. It's something that I wish on no one. If you have not been vaccinated, please go and get vaccinated. It certainly will provide you with that additional layer of protection.
Indeed. I am a catching out of breads. I tell you, I got it too. Yeah. But that's one of the news item coming out from last night. But we've received word, Brighton, of the passing of former Minister Melvin Hulse. Everybody knew him. He was somebody well loved, especially because of his lingua, the way he carried himself, holding back no words. He was a big part of the United Democratic Party for years upon years. He's a man that would tell you that I mince no words. I will do. I not like. You say, and I remember these words. I not like thief, but you could lie to me. Not thief me. So things like that. And he, and in his latter days, he did an interview with a well-known journalist in Belize, saying that I don't have much time. I do what I feel. I do what I want now because I know for a fact that I don't have much time. So from our Channel 5 family, we wish his family condolence, and may the good Lord continue to keep and bless. And I could tell the family right here and now that they have now gained the ultimate angel. A champion for Belize, may he rest in peace. The Honorable Melvin Hulse. Good man. Yes. And I tell you, he flipping mints no words because that's not his business, and you could talk all the rugodums you want.
Yeah, I watched one of I believe it was the last interview that he did, and I was just so amazed at how he was at peace with his condition. And he accepted where he was, and he still emanated so much joy in the moment. Yeah. And he was living in the moment and enjoying where he was. Yeah. Even though he did say that, he had pain and stuff like that, he still said, you know what? Why will I just sit and complain? Yeah. I'm going to continue to enjoy what it is that I have.
Indeed. May he rest in peace, and may his soul rise in glory. Brighton, it's that time of the morning whereby we move on and provide some motivation to you, of course, taken from adailyom.com. Here is our eye-opener, and it goes like this. When our thoughts become consumed with worry, we become a beacon of worry to the world. Brighton, if prayer is an intention that we announce to the universe in order to create a desired outcome, then our energy is our every thought is a prayer. This includes thoughts of worry as well as thoughts of hope. Although all thoughts actually are subtle creative energy. Some thoughts are more focused on repeat more often, gathering strength. Some are written down or spoken, giving them even greater power. Every thought we have is a part of a process whereby we co-create our experience and our reality with the universe. When we use our creative energy unconsciously, we create what is commonly known as self-fulfilling prophecy. In essence, when we worry, we are repeatedly praying and lending our energy to the creation of something we don't want. A lot of the times, we have concerned loved ones that worry about us. When this happens, they're also sending out a worry prayer to the world, a loving conversation, letting them know what is happening is the easiest solution. Also, ask them to send you positive affirmations rather than worry about you. After all, worry doesn't do any good for them. That's my buddy.
Certainly. Why worry? Why stress over situations you cannot control? Why stress over limitations? This is something that I'm learning as well. Try not to worry about the things that you cannot control. It certainly allows you to put yourself in a better space to be productive. It puts you in a better mental state, which is critically important for going about your day and giving the best of yourself. So when I think about this piece that you just read, John, one of the things I think about is self-affirmations. I think about manifestations, how you speak things into existence, whether it doesn't matter which religious background you come from, which denomination you're from, if you try to manifest positive energy, that is what is important. To be able to fill that space with positivity to allow you to propel yourself to a better version of who you are.
I love the way that you summed that up, bro. I've got 2 words for it as well. Hakuna Matata. And my 2 words to that. Because, I watch all of these cartoons and there are a lot of messages behind it. And it says it means no worry. Swahili for no worries, right?
Right.
And rightly so. Why? If you could do something about it, then why you don't worry? And if you cannot do something about it, then why you don't worry? So I'll tell you what we're going to do, because we could do something about it, is actually to pass you on to the forecaster on duty there at the National Met Service to take a look at the weather. Because why worry?
Why worry?
Catherine Cumberbatch is on the other side of this phone. Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor. Good morning.
You hear that voice? You hear that voice, Catherine? Good morning. How are you today?
I am doing okay. I'm not going to complain at all, John.
See, there we go.
Not going to complain about a thing. Just giving thanks. That's all.
It reminds me of 2 things. One of Bob Marley's song was a positive vibration. So there we go. Then Hakuna Matata. No worry, no complaint. Catherine, let's jump on into the weather. Let's chit chat about that. Let's start with the general situation. What should you expect? And we go from there.
Okay, John, for today we expect hot conditions to prevail across the country. Mostly sunny skies today. The high temperatures are expected to reach 91 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 98 inland, and 90 over the mountains. And with these high temperatures, John, we have prompted the National Met Service to issue a heat alert. Therefore, residents, especially those living in the interior of the country, Cayo, Belmopan, are advised to avoid outdoor activities as much as possible during the daytime and to stay hydrated.
Wow.
As for tonight, the skies will be clear to partly cloudy and the temperatures will drop a bit. It will be a bit cooler than during the daytime. So we expect temperatures of 80 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 74 inland, and 60 in the higher elevation. No rainfall is expected. The winds will be coming out of the east and southeast, 5 to 15 knots, and the sea state will be moderate. And when we look at the extended forecast for Thursday and Thursday night, is for fair and warm weather to prevail with little to no rainfall. So that's basically what I have.
All right.
As for the sargassum forecast, the chances of more sargassum land in our beach will continue to be high. And in the fire forecast, due to the hot conditions that we are having, the risk for fire and the risk for fire or bushfires will continue to be high for the next 24 hours.
Wow. Catherine,
Yeah.
thank you so very much for...
That's what I have for you all.
Thank you so very much, Catherine, for joining us this morning.
No problem, neighbor.
All right,
Always.
neighbor.
Thank you, Catherine. John, it's gonna be a hot day.
It's gonna be a hot day. Look, I'll tell you what, Taximan, Rinjwak, and Kayo, and Belmopan, the land bird language car. Bird, they catch taxi to hot. And EDAC thing too.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's just, you know, we want for folks to understand, you know, this is dry season that we're in.
Right.
And every year we continue to warn folks, especially this time of the year, make sure that you're hydrated. One of my buddies, one of my best day, actually a cousin of mine just got in at breads, bring low on their shirt because trust me, you're gonna need it. You are going to need it. It's hot. It's hot. All right, so we move on. This morning we've got 3 lovely topics to share with you. As a matter of fact, we'll be kicking things off this morning with the Department of the Environment as they'll be continue with their educational part of on the population from plastic regulations or for plastic regulations and the fines households or stores can be sanctioned with. Now that's definitely a conversation we want to have.
Right. And we move into the second segment after that, which will be led by Autism Belize. We're going to be talking about the Light Up Blue campaign, as well taking into consideration that it is World Autism Awareness Month.
Yeah, in the month of April, my month. Yeah, definitely. And we'll be ending things off this morning with Scratch and Win Belize. They'll be demonstrating how to play the new hit game and win up to $25,000. You know how much pack bread a nigga could get out of that? Boy, that's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, and people are certainly looking for ways to get some more money in their hands. And
indeed.
You know, this might be another opportunity. This is another opportunity for you.
All right, I got a question for you real quick before we take the break. What better than money? What is better than money?
I would say love.
More money, Brighton. More money. My goodness. And with 25 G's, my goodness. So that's what we've got lined up for you.
Yeah.
3 lovely topics this morning. You definitely want to stay tuned to those. We'll be taking a break, but just before we do, though, we've got a birthday shout out, indeed. And we would like to say a happy birthday to none other than, look at her, she's so beautiful. Her name is Anissa Welch. Happy birthday, baby Anissa. Wishing you all the best from the family, of course, from all of us here at Channel 5 and all of us right here on Open Your Eyes. We'll take the break. When we come back, you got a birthday too? A birthday shout out?
I don't. Right.
You're sure?
I'm sure. Hopefully nobody comes for me.
We'll take the break. When we come back, we'll be jumping on into our first topic. We'll be talking about plastic pollution and how the Department of the Environment is actually enforcing it. Stay with us. We'll be back.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Keep your business running efficiently with computer products and accessories from Cellular World. We are the largest electronics stores in Belize, providing business solutions from trusted brands including Dell, HP, Lenovo, and Samsung, just to name a few. Our range of business PCs and electronics include desktop computers, laptops, desktop monitors, mouses, battery backups, smart TVs, and computer accessories that are backed up by warranties to keep your business always running smoothly. Call or visit us at any of our 5 Cellular World locations in Belize City, Belmopan, or San Pedro, and let our knowledgeable team help you to find the right solutions. Cellular World, low prices, more choices.
Todo beliceño merece tener una conexión de internet de calidad, rápida y confiable en su hogar. Para clases en línea y trabajo desde casa, es la nueva forma de vida. Diginet es el proveedor número 1 de servicio de fibra óptica, impulsando la transición digital de Belice. Y ahora nuestro servicio de Diginet es aún más accesible con nuestro nuevo plan de entrada. Por tiempo limitado, tú y tu familia pueden disfrutar de 20 megabits por segundo por solamente $49 mensuales. No más clases perdidas ni reuniones virtuales interrumpidas. Te está costando mucho tiempo y dinero. Diginet es mejor que cualquier opción de cable o servicio inalámbrico. Visita cualquier Digistore hoy y suscríbete para la conexión más rápida y confiable de Internet para el hogar en Belice. Ven a ver lo que te has estado perdiendo. El mismo servicio de fibra de alta calidad, rápido y confiable, ahora a un precio aún más bajo. Para más información, visita www.livedigi.com/Diginet. Digi, nuestra telecomunicación nacional.
If you're looking for low-cost television advertising, have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you save valuable time and money. Call us today at 223-0146 or visit us at our offices on Pony Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
And we'll be back in a few, so stay tuned. Thanks, Jen. Hey there, we know you have to head out to work shortly, but don't forget that you can stay tuned by watching us on our Facebook live stream. Find us at Open Your Eyes BC, and you can continue watching there. You can also download Facebook Watch on your streaming device, and you can watch at your own convenience.
And for all the behind-the-scenes fun, follow us on Instagram at OYEBelize. So,
find us
and follow us
today.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes, and we're moving now into our first segment for the morning, and this one is all about the pollution from plastics. Now, the Department of the Environment is in with representatives from there to educate us on the pollution from plastic regulations and the fines households and also businesses can be sanctioned with. So in with us, we've got Anthony Mai. He's the Chief Environmental Officer at the Department of the Environment, and also Aldo Cancino, Environmental Officer at the Department of the Environment. Guys, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and thank you for having us.
Yeah,
thanks.
It's definitely nice to have you guys in. You know, this plastic situation is one that have been plaguing us for such a long time.
Yeah.
It was once paper bag, then we went to handbags and whatnot. Then somebody came up with the bright idea, so you know what? Let's put plastic bags out there. It might be cheaper. It might be more affordable, more durable, and you're able to just go anywhere with it. Some folks might say we could reuse the plastic bags again, but at this particular point in the world, we're noticing that is not the case. We're actually putting serious implications on the earth because of plastic pollutions.
Also on human health.
And of course, human health. So I'd like to start with you, CEO. With respect to these regulations, and how, as a matter of fact, how are we deterred when it comes to plastics?
Good. Well, let me start by giving you a kind of the big picture in terms of where we are and how we got to the implementation of the regulations. Again, as you know, plastic is, as you said, it is all around us, right? We need plastics on a daily basis to do, a lot of what is required of us, from all the different sectors, basically. Again, if you look at studies that have been done, studies have shown that plastics basically now, due to how it basically breaks down, it basically forms microplastics.
Right.
And so studies have shown that microplastic now exists throughout the entire food chain.
Yeah.
Right?
Microplastics?
Microplastics.
Let's jump on into that. No, because, and the reason why I'm asking you this is because once everybody is on board, chances are we're going to score the goal that we need to. But I might not understand what microplastics are. What is it?
So microplastics is so you have think about a regular t-shirt plastic bag. So you go to the store, you come home with a bag, right? You use it, discard it, throw it on the ground. Right? So you see it there today, maybe a week from now it's no longer there. So you thought, well, there's no issue. Right? In reality, what occurs is that the plastic basically breaks down into fine pieces, microplastics. And so anything that is 5 millimeter or less is microplastics. And so it breaks down even further, right, into nanoplastics, right, so nano size. And what that does is that remains within that particular area within the environment for many, many years.
Wow.
Right? So the t-shirt plastic bag has an average breakdown lifespan of about like 20 years or something like that.
Wow.
Right? But it is more the impact to the environment than to the human health that is more serious. Right? And so you think about the plastic there, you say, okay, there's not an issue. But you have living organisms within the soil. that basically ingest these plastics, and then that is where the food chain starts.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
everything basically comes up from there, and eventually we eat the fish, we eat, we eat things in wildlife.
Yeah.
And so basically we begin to ingest the same thing that we're throwing on the ground. And so there's this thing that says, everything that you throw into the environment basically come back to you. If you think about chemical and pesticide, you put pesticides on the ground, right? And eventually you ingest that same product. And so what the legislation hopes to do is to protect the Belize environment and the Belizean people from the harmful impacts of plastic pollution, right?
Right. So it certainly goes through the food cycle, so to speak.
Yes.
Let's speak a bit about the phased-in approach that was taken before the implementation of this regulation.
Good. Let me speak about that quickly, and then I'll ask Mr. Cancino to basically speak about the legislation itself.
Okay.
So in about 2016 or so, the Department of Environment basically realized that obviously there was a global push to look at plastics and plastic pollution. And so we basically did a bunch of studies to kind of understand how many plastic products are coming, how many and the type of plastic products that are coming into the country, and eventually where these plastic products are used and then end up, right? So the studies kind of show that, again, Belize imports an astronomical amount of plastic bags and plastic products, styrofoam products included.
Right? I think for plastic bags, Myron and I were looking at the numbers yesterday. Based on the 2014-2016 data, we were talking about 235 million pieces of plastic bags.
Per year.
Oh, wow.
Per year?
Per year.
225 million
pieces per year.
Wow.
Right? So it's significant. And so globally, since the early 1950s, again, globally we have produced about 80 to 90 billion tons of plastic. And majority of these plastics ends up in our oceans. And when it ends up in our ocean, basically it wash up on our shore, and it basically impacts everything. And so there was a global move, global push to address this at the national level. So if each country comes together and do your part, I mean, globally we should be able to fix the problem. In Belize, so what we did is with the information that we had, we put together a task force, right, that comprised of government representative, private sector representative, NGOs, academia. And we sat and we thought about what would be the best approach to basically manage or regulate plastic pollution. The task force can advise that, okay, we need to first educate the population about plastics and the harmful impacts of plastics. So since 2016 and even a bit before that, we have been doing continuous education and awareness on plastics. The task force also advised that we put in place some type of legislation to kind of manage, control the importation, the manufacturing, the sale, and the possession of plastic, of certain types of plastics. Because again, the discussion evolved such that the private sector had serious concern as it relates to the plastic that they use in the productive sector. And so it was critically important for the task force to ensure that the productive sector is kind of, in a way, not impacted significantly by the legislation. And so then it was agreed that we should start with single-use products, in this case the t-shirt plastic bags, the clamshell styrofoam, and cutleries, the knife, forks, and spoons, plates, etc., and the straws. And so the legislation targets those products and it classifies the plastic products as prohibited item. And so since April 15, 2020, right, those items were prohibited or have been prohibited from importation. And so since that time, we have been progressing. Also, the task force can advise that we put in place a phase-out approach, right, which will allow a transition from what is the norm at that time, plastic products, to now biodegradable products, right? And so I'd like Mr. Cancino then to kind of explain what that means and how that is being implemented.
Aldo?
Yeah, so we have a transition. The transition is we're moving away from the normal plastics that we're using to biodegradable products. The biodegradable products, or the process that we've taken, is one that we've done along with the Belize Bureau of Standards. We've developed national standard to define what biodegradable is for Belize. For Belize, biodegradable means that the content has to be more than 50% bio-based. It has to have some kind of starch or some kind of natural product along with the plastic, and it must degrade within 365 days. So for someone to import these products, they need to submit the lab reports where an independent lab has tested these products and has tested to make sure that it can look at these two principal components of the biodegradable product. This then is sent to the Belize Bureau of Standards, who will review and analyze to make sure that this product conforms with the standard. Once they say it conforms, we're given the green light to register the product.
Okay.
If it doesn't conform, and a lot of products haven't conformed, we would tell the importer, you know, this doesn't meet, you need to find another source. And so it's not just taking and phasing out plastics entirely. We're transitioning into something, and we wanted to make sure that whatever we transition into doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah.
And so we put that criteria, which is where we are in terms of the biodegradable registration and importation that started last year in about between July and September. And so since then, a lot of these products have been registered through the system. It took a little while for some companies to identify the right products, the companies that can provide this information and can ensure that the biodegradable meet the standard. And since then, slowly we've been transitioning in. That now takes us to where we are in terms of the final phase-out dates, which, as you know, when we started, we wanted to have this done by 2020.
I know,
COVID came in, the world kind of changed, our realities changed, and we were forced to make these changes. And so we're also looking at the manufacturing. We do manufacture some of these items in country.
Here in Belize. In country we do.
In Belize. And so it's not only for the importer, it's also for a manufacturer, and it gives the manufacturer also the opportunity to transition into these new items, because they would need to then adjust their formulas, and also in adjusting their formulas, they have to also make sure that they get the right temperature, that they write the right density, etc. And so the legislation did consider that.
And how competitive are we in terms of making our own product with respect to what we've got here and what is out there?
Well, it took I'll use one of the companies. It took one of the companies a little while to adjust his formula. I know he had a lot of trials and errors, and his product is in the market already, and you're probably using it and you don't know.
And I don't know.
And from my opinion, I would prefer his product over some of the things that are coming.
Well, I'm always one for what is being made here in our country rather than out there, because when we buy in our country, we build our country. So that's that's definitely one of the points. But let's jump on into the regulations at a watch time, and time is not on our side, but let's jump on into the regulations at this particular point. One of the things that we did upon introduction, that there could be charges to actually households and business who have got plastics within their households. So let's dissect that. What are we talking about there?
So the legislation has different thresholds for possession. So you're allowed to have 10 of these items. Between 10 and 100, the items are confiscated. 100 to 500, you can be charged 3 times the value. I believe the fine is $1,000 and the cost of disposal. Anything above 500 items, then you are the 3 times assessed value, and I believe $5,000 and the cost for disposal.
And the items are
styrofoam cups, plates, the disposable spoons, cutlery, plastic, the disposable plastic cups.
So
the disposable plastic items, and the only bag, and we have to be clear, the only bag that is considered is the t-shirt bag. Don't worry about your garbage bag. Don't worry about the other bags that you might have. Those are not covered in the legislation. So that's the approach that was taken from the beginning, and that's how we continue. And really our focus, we haven't been issuing permits since April 2020, so it should be residuals in the market. And the idea is we'll look at the importer and the retailer first before we come to your house.
One of the things I think about immediately when I think about the implementation of this particular regulation is, how do we go about monitoring and enforcing the regulation? What's our capacity like in that aspect?
Well, our DOE capacity is very limited, but our Belizean capacity is very big. We have 412,000 environmental officers spread across the length and breadth of this country.
412,000. Oh, we're talking about the general public.
That's right.
Yes, there we go.
That's
there
right.
We go.
And hence the reason why the part about the emphasis and about having that individual responsibility is important, because it won't take the importer, it won't take the retailer. It actually takes you to make some of these changes.
Right.
And so bringing awareness to this is very important. We have a method that we will go in terms of monitoring and enforcement. We've already engaged in this, and the awareness to the public is important, so that they are aware and they can now choose. And be aware that if there can be fines for having some of these items, So it's just making sure that people are aware, and the retailer also has to be aware. The importer is also aware. And so it's having this information flow out.
And obviously it is easier to monitor, for example, the importers, the wholesalers, the retailers.
Of course, yes, because they're the ones we get it from.
Exactly. It definitely will be more difficult to monitor individual households. And so I don't want to create any panic or any scare for anyone at home and say, oh, well, I have this DOE will come to my house and they will arrest me. No. I don't seeing the legislation being implemented to that degree. I mean, it is an offense. Right. And so our responsibility is to educate household owners and to let them know that, again, the legislation is in place and that it is a violation. Eventually, with time, we're going through this transition, this shift, and again, in the future, there won't be basically any plastic products eventually, because all countries are implementing a ban on the importation of plastic products. So that means that the production of these products will significantly decrease.
Well, eventually it will be phased out. If you're importing it from somewhere, then the manufacturer must adhere to the rules in their respective country.
And if the demand is decreased, then the supply should decrease as well.
Oh, but of course.
And so in terms of monitoring, I just want to add that there are things that we do have things in place to do monitoring. One of the first things that we do is there's an application process for restricted products. And so if anyone applies to import a prohibited product, that will be rejected, right? But then there is a process to apply for restricted products and biodegradable products. And so the first step in terms of monitoring is to know who the players are, right? Everybody has to come through this one set application process. And so we know who has what and where these products are. And then it is distributed to the wholesalers, the retailers, and then eventually to the household. So there is a structure in place, there is an order in place. And we know it, Mr. Cancino, he heads the unit that deals with this. He knows all the major players, etc.
I'm so glad we're taking this step into the right direction in terms of environmental management and biodiversity protection. I was in Finland this past year, and one of the most beautiful things was walking into the supermarket or the grocery store, and you see them having reusable bags for you to buy to go and shop your groceries. And if you do choose to buy one of the plastic bags, you have to pay a significant amount of money. So automatically, it deters you from actually going down that lane and actually buying or purchasing that bag. Are we going to be seeing such a transition in our stores where there will be
at least tote bags?
Right.
But if you notice, there's slowly you slowly have that transition. A lot of facilities are encouraging people to bring their own bags. If you go to certain stores, you will see a sign, we're trying to reduce our use of these bags, bring your own, etc. And that is really where we need to go. You'll be surprised that you'll start seeing a lot of paper bags again. And we go back to where we started.
Back in the days, right? Which leads to go to the market. You used to get your market bag.
Your grandma used to go with a big bag and then pull up everything and come home.
Look, I can remember the days they tell you, go help your granny with the bag because she's got a big bag, and it was actually a reusable bag. But I can't help but to make mention, though, that there are implications with respect to having to use a paper bag again. Because paper comes from trees. And then when we do this, then, especially for large manufacturers, as the world with 7.7 billion, we might reach 10 billion. When we get there, more people will want more things, thus clearing a lot of land. We need to chop more trees. How are we going to deal with this?
Well, the reality is that everything you do has an impact on the environment.
Yes.
That's the bottom line,
Yes.
right? And so Belize, as a developing country, right, they has to be very careful in terms of how we move in the future. One of the roles and responsibility of the Department of Environment is to guide the government at the day into what is referred to as the green economy, right? So the green economy is a concept under the Sustainable Development Team, where you ensure that your country develops, but you develop with a high level of environmental consciousness.
Right.
And so you look at, for example, a different productive sector. You look at tourism. You ensure that your tourism sector is green in terms of everything that they do. You look at agriculture, you look at industry. We have to ensure, in fact, this same push for the change to biodegradable, this is the way how the Department of Environment is guiding the government to, again, transition into that green economy. We are asking the government, and the government has agreed through the legislation, to import biodegradable products as opposed to plastics products. And so, again, in terms of where we want to go as a country, right, the Department of Environment is like the environmental consciousness of the government, saying, you know what, you need to consider this from an environmental standpoint, and we need to meet these targets, etc., etc. It won't be easy because, again, when you think about green, it comes with a little, you know, with a cost. And again, but that's an upfront kind of obvious cost, but then there's other costs that you need to think about, right? There's the cost of inaction, the cost of not doing anything. And I was mentioning to a friend that if we don't manage the importation of single-use plastics, and if we didn't put this legislation in place, other countries are doing it, and guess what? If Belize didn't have something in place, we would be the dumping ground for all the plastics that other countries do.
You're totally right.
So that's a cost of inaction. And also, when we talk about costs, Mr. Cancino mentioned also that you need to think about the cost of the impacts that these products are having on the environment, the cost of cleaning, recovery, the cost of human impacts, and the cost of the medical health, that in terms of medical cost of getting medical care. Right? And so when you think about the small increase in terms of, you know, what you need to pay for green products compared to the other costs that it will cost you later on, it makes sense. You know, from all different perspectives, if you look at it, it makes sense.
You know, one of the things definitely, because I've heard about this before in terms of we need to continue to just wipe this out. And from the DOE or the DOE perspective, are we at the spot that we wanted to be right now with respect to trying to get this thing phased out and the public buy-in? Let's talk about that.
Well, I believe that this has, when the legislation was passed, there was a lot of public support for it. We are an environmentally conscious society, and we pride ourselves on our reefs. We pride ourselves about our forests, and there's a natural direction where these things take us, and so there is public support. I think there are challenges, the price being one, but there are also opportunities there, because then if we look at the manufacturing sector, if we start to manufacture our own, and we are actually setting standards that are now being referenced in the Caribbean, and companies in Mexico have changed their formula so that they can meet our standards. This shows how Belize can influence not only our stuff, but it can influence our region. And then we suddenly have a market of 413 to the market of the Caribbean and probably some of the Central American countries, where we can reduce the cost by increasing productivity. So it's an opportunity there, and there is support there. I think there is the interest. We would have wanted to be here faster, but you know, we're here, and we're continue to move. Environmental management is one where you continuously improve. You'll never reach your intended target. You'll always find that you can always do better, and that's what we want to do. We want to do better for today and tomorrow.
And we already know some of the activities that we want to do in the future, right? So one of the things that we want to do is we want to do like a market survey. So again, people had asked, okay, so the products are being registered through the assistance of the Belize Bureau of Standards, but how sure are we that the products does actually meet the regulations? And so one of the things that we want to do in the future is to, you know, just go around the country, kind of take samples of these products from off the shelves and then send them to get tested. And so we just have verification process. And so we need to verify that what is on the shelf is actually biodegradable. So that's the next step. Again, also what we want to do in the future is see how we could provide some incentive, right? So the approach right now is that we have educated and provided public awareness nationally. We have a legislation in place. And so what we want to do now is we want to provide incentive that you need to kind of pull you rather than to push you, right? And so these are some of the immediate things that we want to put in place to kind of drive it even further, right? And so Mr. Cancino was even telling me that there is maybe the possibility of one of the manufacturing company to export some of these biodegradable products, which would be good for the country, right? So, I mean, there are future actions that needs to be taken to strengthen what we're doing.
Indeed.
You know, I'm glad you brought that up in regards to exportation of our products that we produce here. Because when we start to implement legislations like this, it puts us at a position where we're beginning now to lead from the front. We're beginning to be an example to the global citizenry. We're able to access as well, I'm sure, funding for some of the projects that we're undertaking within the ministry. So speak to us a bit about how it puts us at a competitive advantage as a country.
Well, it's good that you brought that up. In February, we had the United Nations Environment Assembly passed a motion where the world has recognized plastics and plastic waste as a big problem. And a legally binding instrument should be finished by 2024 where we will address the whole life cycle of plastics.
Wow.
And believe it or not, Belize has been at the forefront of some of this discussions. We were engaged with several partners in trying to ensure that certain things occur, and that is where we're going. I mean, that is where we want to, because we're at the head, we want to lead. We don't want to follow. We want people to follow what we're doing because that's the way that we make the change.
Indeed.
The United Nations Environmental Assembly is the highest environmental assembly under the UN umbrella. The Honorable Orlando Habet was present, the CEO was present at this session, and the minister gave a speech as it relates to our commitment to move forward with, the national environmental agenda, but also we singled out plastic. So the Department of Environment, the ministry itself, was very active as it relates to the negotiation. When you go to some of these high-level and large assembly, we were very instrumental in some of the negotiation as it relates to putting together a proposal to the assembly for the passage of the multilateral environmental agreement on plastics and plastic pollution. So again, Belize's voice is being heard nationally, globally. I mean, on these large, fora,
exactly where we need to be. Exactly. And I've got to say, kudos to the Department of the Environment for providing the information and actually leading the chart, especially globally, in how we are trying to turn things around with dealing with plastic bags. We're completely out of time. Just like that, we don't need one next, tell you that much. But again, folks can be fined for having plastic bags, plastic forks and spoons and stuff like that within their household. And of course, it comes at a heavy fine. I think, what, $1,000 I listened to earlier. Aldo, quickly run through that again because we're out of time.
Just what you're allowed 10 items, 10 to 100 is confiscated, 100 to 500, 1,000, or 3 times the assessed value, and the cost of disposal. And for anything above 500, I believe it's $5,000, 3 times the assessed value, and the cost of disposal. So that's very important because we don't want people just to. We want to manage how this is going to be disposed. And so that could have been a whole segment on the conversation.
But again, and I'm so glad that you guys started out by saying it takes the public to get this right.
Exactly.
Because for some reason or the other, we tend to want to look at the authority and say, hey, you're not doing it, you're not doing it.
Yeah, we have to hold ourselves accountable.
We have to hold ourselves accountable. In order for our country to make a difference, it takes every single Belizean to do so. I've got to say thank you, Aldo and Anthony. I hope now next 2 years before we'll say no again. But thank you guys so very much for joining us this morning to discuss these regulations.
John, just to end off this segment on a light note, we know Belizeans like to keep bags and bags and bags in one plastic bag in that jar. Try to dispose of that. If you don't need it,
use it as garbage bag, put your garbage in,
and put it in, and then there we go. Exactly. But thank you guys so very much for joining us this morning. All right, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be discussing Autism Month. What is autism? How do you recognize that? And of course, we're also going to talk about the importance of the Light Up Blue campaign. You heard about a campaign already?
Yeah.
You guys heard about it? We're going to tell you more about it when we come back.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere, satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
Todo beliceño merece tener una conexión de internet de calidad, rápida y confiable en su hogar. Para clases en línea y trabajo desde casa, es la nueva forma de vida. Diginet es el proveedor número 1 de servicio de fibra óptica, impulsando la transición digital de Belice. Y ahora nuestro servicio de Diginet es aún más accesible con nuestro nuevo plan de entrada. Por tiempo limitado, tú y tu familia pueden disfrutar de 20 megabits por segundo por solamente $49 mensuales. No más clases perdidas ni reuniones virtuales interrumpidas. Te está costando mucho tiempo y dinero. Diginet es mejor que cualquier opción de cable o servicio inalámbrico. Visita cualquier Digistore hoy y suscríbete para la conexión más rápida y confiable de Internet para el hogar en Belice. Ven a ver lo que te has estado perdiendo. El mismo servicio de fibra de alta calidad, rápido y confiable, ahora a un precio aún más bajo. Para más información, visita www.livedigi.com/Diginet. Digi, nuestra telecomunicación nacional.
Together we can stop the violence by being responsible and respectful partners and fathers in the future.
I will take responsibility to respect women and girls and hold other young men accountable who use hurtful behavior and speech.
Toxic masculinity traits and harmful social norms about how men should behave contributes to gender inequality and violence and fear that women and girls face.
I realize that gender-based violence is a problem that will never end until all boys and men work to end it by resolving conflicts without violence.
We all have a responsibility, and that is why we encourage others to spread this message, to commit to advancing gender equality and to end gender-based violence.
I commit.
I commit.
I commit.
I commit.
I commit to make changes in violence in my life and elsewhere.
Together we can stop the violence.
If you're looking for low-cost television advertising, have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you save valuable time and money. Call us today at 223-0146 or visit us at our offices on Pony Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
And welcome back. We move into our second segment for this morning. This morning we're joined by Ms. Stephanie Bradshaw, who is the board secretary at Autism Belize, and she's also an autism mom, as well as Ms. Jasmine Gallegos, who's a behavioral analyst. And we'll be talking about World Autism Awareness Month and the Light Up Blue campaign. Ladies, good morning, and thank you for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
For some reason or the other, I've got to say that we all got the memo.
We did.
Representing for the entire month of April being World Autism Day. I want to start though by saying, you know, a lot of the times we mistreat people or we mistreat children because we're not accustomed to their behavior. We're not recognizing that that child might be autistic. And that's where I want to start. Primarily, how do you recognize autism, or what is autism?
You wanna go?
And
Okay.
you know what? We'll flip on a coin.
All right.
First. But go ahead.
So autism is a neurological disability that affects communication skills, social skills, fine motor skills, and ability to just be able to function properly in the community. So a better understanding of it is that it's a neurological, their brain is wired differently. So it's not like something you would just notice right off the bat.
Yeah.
It's something that is, you would notice if they are holding a pencil in not the right way, or if they have difficulty going up and down the stairs, or even just communicating. If they're like shy, they don't want to socialize with other peers their own age. So those kind of like barriers that you would normally see.
So from the mom's perspective, so I started to notice differences when, you know, the doctor would give you all these milestones that your child is supposed to meet at a certain age. And he was meeting most of them up until the 12 to 18 month mark when he's supposed to be communicating, and then there was none, and that's when, you know, the little red flag started to pop up. And so there are these little things that the parent would notice from early on. But you were talking about people mistreating others.
There's a mistreatment of it because we don't know about it. So continue.
For sure. And you know, in our culture, like we always tend to say, oh, you need to discipline that picnic and put her in a check. And but what I've learned is that they're not giving you a hard time. They are having a hard time.
Oh man.
And that's really the mindset that I've had to change for myself, and that's what we are trying to teach others. That you see a child there throwing themselves on the floor screaming, don't automatically think that they are rude.
They're having a hard time. Yeah.
They're
Automatically you think,
time.
you're picking rude, they're doing this, they're doing that. But there was one thing that stood out to me that she mentioned, and it is the fact that after 18 months, you notice that his speech was still not necessarily there. And there's a thing that we like to say. I can remember growing up, they say that boy take longer to talk than girl. And then when you hear that, like, okay, is that really the case? So when you mentioned that came to my mind, which lead me to ask you, Jazz, is that so? Is such thing?
So girls versus boys and their learning strategies.
I'm asking that because, you know, this is to recognize autism. She recognized it after 18 months. I've had some friends who would tell you that, my son really took a long time to say something, to talk, but they might not have recognized that it is autism, but rather went with the old saying that boys take longer to speak or develop than girls.
I do have to say that for girls, it's different to identify. It looks a little differently than with males. Wow. There is a higher statistic with males versus females, but it may look like playing with certain things in a perfect line, having like rigidityness to transitions, having things a specific way. And it's mostly meeting them where they're at. So they're, we're not trying to have them adapt to our lifestyle. It's more like how can we adapt to their lifestyle, meet them where they are. And I just want to say about like the whole like punishing and everything. Punishment procedures in a behavior-analytic perspective is effective but temporarily. It helps the moment and fixes the behavior, but in long term they don't learn what how to appropriately behave in certain ways. So it's up to like teachers, parents, and just caregivers to help them, guide them, and shape them and show them how to appropriately behave in a certain way.
You know, one of the things I think about, because I have friends who have publicly expressed that they're autistic and they're still high functioning. Speak to us a bit about the spectrum of autism.
So spectrum, so the spectrum is large, right? So I like to believe that we're all kind of on a spectrum in some way. We have strengths in one way and weaknesses in others. And so when an individual with autism may have difficulty communicating but have really good picking up on cues and social skills, or they might have difficulty communicating but also have really good fine motor skills. They can write, they can do everything properly. So it depends on on the child. Like they say, if you meet one kid with autism, you only meet that one individual. Everyone is so different in different ways.
So which leads me again to Steph. So you recognize that about your son, and at what point did you seek the help that you need, and where did you make that breakthrough? Because you mentioned that one of the things that we do is that we have to change our mindset to that of the child's, whereby, you know, it's not that the child is just acting out, it's that the child might not be comfy. So at what point did you find out and make the breakthrough?
Well, I started with Google. You know, as a first-time parent, I Googled everything. So I Googled, you know, why would my child not be meeting the communication milestone? And that's when autism popped up as a possibility. And so I went to his pediatrician, like, is this what it is? He was so young and not displaying all the signs or the typical signs. So it took a long while for me to get a diagnosis. But have a wonderful pediatrician, Dr. Eck. Hope he's still on the recovery path. He's the one who told me, look, we don't know if this is what it is, but we know what his challenges are. So let's get him the help. Let's get him as much help as we can from an early stage. So from before or just about 2 years old, I've been trying to access as much therapy as I can in Belize, educating myself on how to help him, because I'm the one and his caregivers are the ones who are with him each and every day, day and out. So we had to learn how to help him, how to teach him. And and we're now reaping the benefits of that early intervention.
Within our country, is help hard to come by?
Yes. That's why Jasmine is even here. We have very limited resources in Belize. It's even hard to get a diagnosis in Belize. There's no, like you would get a diagnosis from a pediatric neurologist. We don't have one in Belize. So you'd go to your pediatrician, or you'd go to a psychologist, or you have to go abroad to get a diagnosis. But then, okay, you get a diagnosis, then what? You have all these therapies that you need to get into to get your child help. And again, it's very limited. And so there are, like, we're starting to get help and resources in Belize. And that's Jasmine is a part of the program Therapy Adventures. So she can talk a little bit more about that.
Yes. Please, let's do that.
So Therapy Adventures is an NGO, a nonprofit company that we are partnered with Chicago, and we have a good partnership here with the government of Belize. So we are partnered with Ministry of Education, Culture and Science and Human Development, and many other parties, but also what we're here, our purpose is as our mission to provide therapy for these individuals and to give them quality therapy for occupational therapy, behavioral therapy, and speech therapy. So our goal is to overall impact their lives in a positive, meaningful way and to pretty much give them an option, give them an opportunity to be able to live their lives to the fullest potential.
Wow. Wow.
You know, I spoke with one of my past lecturers. Her son has autism as well. And she said, you know what, Brighton? She said, this is my son's superpower. Can you relate to an expression like that?
Absolutely. My son is amazing. It's so easy to focus only on the challenges, but his brain is amazing.
Yeah.
He taught himself to read before 3 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, who does that?
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't even aware that he could read, and it's one of his therapists pointed out to me, like, do you realize your son can read? I was like, no, he can't read. And she wrote down just like a random sentence, and he reads it. So his brain works differently than the average child's brain or the neurotypical child's brain works. But he's so amazing. Like, he notices things that I wouldn't. He asks questions that are out of this world. Like, you're talking about superhero. Like, he asks questions about superhero. Like, he asked me the other day, like, is Hulk stronger than God? How do I answer that? Like, no, baby, God is the superpower. You know, like he has these questions, and his brain is amazing. Very empathetic. Like he is so sensitive. Like if he sees someone crying, like that really affects him. So yeah. I absolutely identify with that.
It reminds me of, I think there is a series, The Good Doctor, because a lot of people would hear about autism and see a child with autism and think that, that child is not typical of the regular children, whereby maybe they're not smart, maybe they're not able to actually get from point A to point Z with respect to how they think, when in reality, it might nearly be the next way. But the importance of that child to get therapy so they could actually bring out all the strength that they've got mentally, that's very important. So I'd like to get back to Jazz and speak to us about the importance of children with autism getting therapy.
Yes, the importance is if you want the children to meet their fullest potential, it's through adequate, effective, consistent therapy, which is needed. And when we have everyone on board on the same page, that's when we see most progress. And it's a team effort. It's team with parents, with caregivers, with teachers, with the community itself, and being able to be all on board to help and provide the assistance for these individuals.
But you know, Jazz, I might be a parent, or there are parents right now who are looking on and say, you know what, yes, I recognize now that my child is with autism, but I'm so shy to put them out in the world. What do you say to these parents?
I say, if we don't handle the behavior head on, then how are we going to fix it? If we don't see it and work through it in the moment, how are we going to change anything? So in order to be effective, we have to kind of go through these difficult times as a group and be able to work through it together instead of just individually and trying to figure out, when you're by yourself, you feel lost, you're not sure how to handle it. But if there's a team involved, then there's more chances that you'll be able to get through it.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'd like to speak to that as well. It's a very personal issue, and I would like to keep my son in a little bubble and protect him all the days of his life, and I will try to do that. But you know, it came to a certain point where the mission, the goals that we're after is bigger than me. It's bigger than him. autism, like that's what we're about. That's what Autism Belize is aiming to do, is to educate Belizeans on autism, so that we can have a better environment for my son and for all the other children with autism. So I chose to be brave and put myself out there and to share our story, so that I can help other parents, and so I can also help to inform everyone else about autism.
It takes the village to raise the child. Like, you know, this is something that we've been mentioning since we got started this morning, which leads me to ask the question, or to make mention that the month of April is World Autism Day. And this year in Belize, of course, we're celebrating that. And we're celebrating that in a blue lit way. Tell us more about that, Steph.
Okay, so so blue is the color that most advocacy groups use for to bring autism awareness, and we're all wearing blue today.
Yeah, we all got the memo this morning.
So April 2nd was the official Autism Awareness Day, but the entire month of April we used to promote autism awareness. And so this month, Autism Belize will have, you know, a bunch of activities. For one, we've gotten a lot of companies to light up their buildings in blue. We have people lighting up their homes in blue. Thank you, Benny's and Brothers Sabet, for giving specials on blue light bulbs. So you can still get in on the fun. Go and get your light bulbs.
And also driving past in the night, you see like the blue lights on top of Benny's.
Yeah, so it's really nice. So it's like, you know, the city and, well, the country is going to be lit up in blue. And it's important for people to know, like, why are they lit up in blue? So, like, you know, we start to share what it is we are bringing awareness to. And so, so staff members from the different companies will wear blue on Fridays. We do the hashtag Light It Up Blue Belize, hashtag Autism Belize. And also this month, at the end of the month, April 30th, we're having a walk, run, or crawl. Walk.
And dance.
Or dance.
Or dance. Oh, that's so good.
We did it last year, and it's countrywide, so each district will have this walk on April 30th. And we had like over 400 people attend last year. Despite COVID, we were still very safe, of course. So we're expecting to at least double it this year. We'll also be doing presentations to companies this month and to schools. We'll have like a family day with therapy adventures later this month. The City Council is doing an Easter egg hunt for our kids. And the Rotary Club is also doing an event for families. So we have a bunch of activities this month, and it's all to bring awareness for autism.
Wow.
You know, last night, John, I was driving back home and I passed one of my neighbor's house and I saw blue lights outside, Christmas lights, but blue lights. And I was like, wait, like Christmas lights in April? I'm like, but now that I now know about the lighted up blue, it's like, okay, that's the reason why. And it all puts it into perspective.
Indeed, indeed. I've got to say kudos to Autism Belize, for the fact that, you know, bringing these things to light. If we all knew together, or we all know together, we will make it better together. And I've got to say kudos to you guys for that. We know that there are lots going on this month. There'll be a lot of celebration, but primarily we want for folks to shine that blue light within their household, so they reckon, or we reckon, that they recognize that people are living with autism.
Yes.
I've got to say thank you, Stephanie, and of course Jasmine. It was a great time, and of course to put out, you know, the information, dispensing the information. If we know together, we'll make it better together. Thank both of you for joining us this morning.
Thank you too. Thank you for having us.
So we're going to take the break, and when we come back, right on the radio for $25,000.
Well, we're always looking for other ways to get more money in our pocket. So
indeed, Scratch and Win. They'll be in with us. They'll be telling us about their new game. It's called right. So we're going to talk about that when we come back. Stay with us. This is Open Your Eyes Live.
Hello
friends. This is Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "But he whom God raised again saw no corruption. Be it known unto you, therefore, men and brethren, that through this man is preached unto you the forgiveness of sins, and by him all that believe are justified from all things." Here is one of the greatest promises in the Bible. It is a promise of forgiveness to the vilest of sinners through Jesus, whom God raised from the dead. It is a promise almost too good to be true. That is why the promise is followed with this warning, "Beware therefore, lest that come upon you which is spoken of by the prophets. Behold, ye despisers and wanderers, and perish. For I work a work in your days, a work which you shall in no wise believe, though a man declare it unto you." I read the story of a man who had a rich aunt who died and left him $1 million. However, he had a serious heart condition, and they feared breaking the news to him might give him a heart attack. So they asked his pastor to break the news to him. The pastor very gently and flippantly said to him, "Pete, you know that aunt of yours that recently died? She loved you so much that she left you $1 million. Thinking his pastor was only joking, he replied, "Well, preacher, if she did, I'm going to give half of it to you." So the preacher died of a heart attack. God promises forgiveness to the vilest of sinners. Don't lose it because it sounds too good to be true. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Introducing MaBeBelize.com. Your best solution in home appliances is now one click away. With countrywide delivery, it's easier now than ever to go Mabe. www.mabebelize.com. Enjoy life easier with countrywide delivery.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
Hola usuario de eCash, la aplicación eCash está disponible en español. Cambiar el idioma de tu aplicación de eCash de inglés a español es rápido y sencillo. Déjame mostrarte cómo se hace. Primero, abre tu aplicación eCash. Introduce tu PIN. Toca el icono More en la parte inferior de tu pantalla. Selecciona Security. Selecciona Language. Y luego selecciona Spanish. Vuelve a introducir tu PIN y ya está. Tu aplicación de eCash está ahora en español y puedes seguir disfrutando de tu cartera digital eCash. La aplicación eCash de Belize Bank te hace la vida más fácil.
If you're looking for low-cost television advertising, have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you save valuable time and money. Call us today at 223-0146 or visit us at our offices on Pony Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Welcome back to Open Your Eyes. We're moving now into our third and final segment. This one could be the lucky segment. This could be the lucky segment because it's all about the scratch and win. Scratch and win Belize. They'll be demonstrating to us how to play the new hit game. We like hit games, of course, and win up to $25,000. Now, in to talk to us about it is Haley August, who is a brand coordinator for Scratch and Win Belize. Haley, good morning, Miss Lady. We know the lad you know complain. How are you today?
Good morning, John. Good morning, Brighton. I'm feeling lucky today.
You feel lucky today?
I wanted to feel lucky.
I feel lucky too. We have Scratch in front of us.
We got Scratch in front of me, and we got 30 cents for Scratch it with. Right. That simply tells us that, you know what, today is a lucky day. But let's talk about Scratch and Win Belize. What is this company about, and what do we do?
Okay, so Scratch and Win Belize was established in 2019. We're located on 40 Eve Street. So whenever you win anything above $500, you come straight to us. We're the only scratch card lottery operator in Belize. So our tickets are right there. They're priced between $1, $2, $3, $5, and $10. And you have a chance to win up to $250,000.
Anybody ever win a $250,000?
Notice it's still out there. It's still out there. So maybe it's right there in those tickets I gave you today.
Well, I hope so.
We'll see.
Oh my gosh. So since 2019, like you mentioned, that's nearly at the onset of the pandemic. How have that been? Business been? Have Belizeans been into the Scratch and Win?
Well, when we first started, it started off like as a boom. Like everyone was getting a hand on our tickets. Like it was just insane, the amount of people, like the tickets we were just not giving out, but you know, people were buying. People had such a good reception to our tickets, and we were just pumping tickets afterwards. And then the pandemic came, and obviously we had to shut down because we weren't an essential business. And since it was a little bit of a recession in Belize and the economy tanked and everything, people weren't, gambling was seen as a luxury. So, of course, we were having a little bit difficulties, but as people were seeing that we were launching our new tickets last year in February, people were seeing like, wow, these tickets, we could win on these tickets, and they were just buying and buying again. And you know, Belizeans, they just have their luck with them in their fingers and their, like, you know, lucky underwear and everything. So they have their lucky numbers, so they're just like, okay, then I'm going to go to this store, buy this ticket, and be like, I could win $250,000.
Well, of course. But let's talk about some of the games that you've got, because I noticed you've got a few here. Talk to us about, you've got the Hit 500. We did say that the Hit game is actually the new game, but what are some of the other games that you guys have?
Well, we had multipliers. It's like a 2x multiplier. So whenever you would see a 2x on your ticket, you multiply it by whatever prize you won. So if you had $2 on your ticket, you would get $4. That was our previous ticket. Our $3 ticket was so receptive with people. Like, people just feel like they could win off of that one. Our new Hit games, they're priced between $1, $2, and $5. The first one is our $1 Hit ticket that's loaded with $50 prize. That's why it's called Hit $50, because it's just loaded with so much $50. You would have like so much chances of winning $50. It's not the only thing you're gonna win, of course, because it has 5 top prizes of $1,000. So we're expecting a lot of people to win on those tickets. The same thing with the $2 tickets. It's loaded with $100 tickets. Prizes. It has a two top prizes of $5,000, and then with our Hit 500, loaded with 500. I like to say that the Hit ticket is like, you know, if you can't catch Harry, catch a shot. People not, like, you know, people not gonna feel like, okay, I didn't win the $225,000, but they like, okay, at least I win $500, which is like so good at the same time. $500, that could pay my rent for the month or whatever.
I tell you. So, look, I tell you, I win 500, I say, I don't want, I'm rich.
Listen, John, I have seen this game brought so much joy to families, even when they don't win. You know, just the thrill that you get from scratching.
I have a friend that makes it his Sunday morning ritual with his family. They all sit down, they buy a bunch of scratch tickets, and they see like whoever gets the biggest amount or who didn't win anything, and they just pick off like random tickets off the table, like a little like roulette. So it's really exciting when they hear that.
And also with these tickets, you could also get a free ticket again.
Oh yes, but it's not necessarily with those tickets. It's with our $3 tickets.
$3 tickets.
We've had a lot of people winning on free tickets, which is insane, right? Imagine you go to the store and you buy your tickets and then you get this free ticket and then you're like, oh, the tickets I purchased, I didn't win off, but there's this one last ticket and bam, it's the $1,000. It's $5,000. That's insane.
And as a matter of fact, I've got to go out on a limb here because there was a news item, right? And a lady came off the bus and she was going to actually going to the pharmacy to buy some medication. And literally that was in the news a few months ago. And she decided, I left the meds. Look, I got to, scratch and win. And she won, I'm not sure, I think $10,000.
It's 30.
It's $30,000. You remember the story, right?
It's Miss Thelma I think she was from down south.
Down south. Yeah. She won $30,000 with her money that she was actually going to the pharmacy with. So Brighton, look.
I'm feeling it right there.
Put all the energy on those tickets.
Mama see, mama sa, mama to sa. And I put that's what I'm doing there. But
Belizeans all they have their lucky rituals and everything.
Yeah, right. But it's definitely a fun pastime. Me and Brian were talking about it during the commercial break. It's a fun pastime, and the thing about it though, you spend $2, you spend $1, you spend $5. It's what you got, and your chance of winning, of course, is there as well, right?
It's the thrill. It's like you don't know. It's like this ticket today, will I win? Or it just makes it thrilling when you're scratching in here and be like, oh, I didn't get that one. Oh, I didn't get that one. But oh, this one won. Oh, let me see.
And if you get $2 and you get times 3 or times 5, and then you're like, okay, well, I could use this and go get some more tickets. It's like, the thrill of it.
The thrill of it. And one of the major things people like to do, and I know it's really rough, but you like make the Lee Young one, they scratch it for the Lee Young luck.
I
know, right? I know.
They could scratch it, but at our office, we're not going to catch it.
We're not going to catch it. All right, so here we go. We've got the newest game to hit, scratch, and win, and it's actually the hit game. Now, hit 50, hit 100, hit $500. That's over there, Anita.
Those ones are bonus. Those are out. Yeah, those are out for a while, but they are 5 and 10. They're very well received also. So, like, the bigger the bet, the bigger the prize. So that's why we brought those ones too.
You know what? We want to scratch on directly, but let's talk about where we could find these. I mean, like, you could find this Corozal to PG, all the way out to the Keys, Cayo?
The Keys, everywhere.
Really?
Yes. We have 400 agents nationwide. So pretty much at any store you go to, you'll find them. We have at several pharmacies, several gas stations too. So just pick them up on your way.
And if you got your mom and pop shop, how do you, like, what do I have to do to actually start to sell Scratch and Win?
Oh, just send us a Facebook message. I get messages from people saying, oh, I see people winning. I want to sell this in my shop. And then I'll be glad to assist them.
Easy.
You
ready for scratch, bro?
I am ready to scratch, John. I'm feeling lucky this morning.
Great. Love to hear that.
Normally people shame to scratch out in public. But I tell you what, we're going to scratch on screen right now with Scratch and Win. The new hit game, Brighton. Pull up your dollar.
Would you allow me to explain the
let's do it.
mechanics of the game a bit? Okay, so this is our Hit 50 ticket. You'll see that at the top there's one winning number. That's your number you're going to match to the rest of the 5 digits, right?
All right.
Right there.
So all right. So you already explained this one, Brighton.
Yes, but you also see that you have a chance to win if you see a 50 burst symbol, you instantly win $50.
So once you see that little, okay, it's right there on the screen. All right.
You could match with the winning number or get the 50 burst.
All right, so match with the winning number or get the 50 first. Once you get is there a possibility we could actually get the winning number and the 50?
We can see.
So those are the 4 numbers at the corner, and then
the winning number is at the corner, and then you can see that you have the possibility of winning one of our top prizes in that one for like $1,000.
All right, so let's get on into let's get it on. Woo! All right, so winning number. Scratch, I tell you if I say word goodbye. All right, so Scratch.
Winning number is 2.
My one is 18. Winning number. All right. So my numbers are 5, 29.
And I see a 2 down here.
You see a 2? Man, I saw a bud. Man, and I say mama saw. Woo, man.
It's in one of those tickets I gave you.
Oh my goodness, man.
All right, so win dollar from this one.
Right on, man. This is oh my goodness. So I got winning number 18. My numbers are 5 and 29. And then I got 1 12, 1 3, 1 15.
Yeah.
Actually, they hear it.
See? No, I win dollar with this. I would take this back and get another dollar ticket.
You get another dollar ticket. Let me see it. Let me see it. All right. So 2 and 2. Yeah, the man match it 2, and he got a buck. Sweet. All right. So there we go. All right. So now let's explain to us the $2. The $2 one.
Oh yes, that's our hit 100 ticket. Same thing applies. There's 2 winning numbers. You can match one or both of those winning numbers. There's also a burst $100 symbol. So if you see that, instantly win $100. And you also see that we have a money bag symbol. Whatever, if you get the money bag symbol, it's right in the little description. You see a little money bag.
Yeah, there it is.
So if you get that, you win whatever is underneath that instantly.
Whoa.
Okay.
So say underneath it is $500. You win
that.
$500 instantly.
Man, once it's in the money bag.
Money bag. Or you can see, you see the burst 100.
You win that instantly.
Yep. Or you can match with the winning numbers too.
So 3 ways to win in that one, this one. 3 ways to win. Brighton, let's get it on.
Let's go for it.
Let's go. 2 top prizes of $5,000.
Winning numbers. All right.
I have 9 and 1 here, John.
I got 9 and 12, bro. Ooh. So let's do it. And I said, man. Oh my goodness. I still want 8, I still want 19, I still want 16, and I still want 23. This not fair. This not fair.
But remember, you have to scratch everything because you might have that winning bag, right?
Oh, yes.
I don't got no winning bag, bro. All right. Man, I still want a good $1,000 later.
You know, I recall playing this with my grandmother maybe about a year and a half ago, and she always ensures that she gets everything off.
Yeah, even the little
sometimes when they come in our offices, it's scratched so clean. I'm just like, oh, you saved me so much work.
All right. So, 9 and 12. I'm not going to win 9 or no 12, man. Right, there you go.
Still have more tickets. Keep scratching.
Got more tickets. Let's talk about the Hit 500. How do you win this one?
Now, that one has a little bit more mechanics to it. Same rules apply. There's 4 winning numbers at the top. You can match all 4, 1, 2, or 3 of them. There's a money bag symbol that I mentioned to you guys before. You win whatever is instantly below that. There's an all symbol with this one.
Yeah, so how do you, like if you get the all?
Here's our example. If you get that all, you win everything on the board.
So all money calculated there, right?
That's $500 that person won.
My
And then this one also has a $500 symbol, so you win $500 instantly. So there's a lot of ways to win on this. And it's the different mechanics of the game that keeps it interesting. You know, like if people like, okay, I win this way, I win this way. And it's so fun to, when those come in my office, I'd be like, oh, here's a money bag symbol. Or, oh, here's the all symbol. It's so fun.
Wow. All right. So we know now how to play this one. This one is actually for $5, and you could win the top prize of $25,000. Brighton,
let's go for it, John.
Let's do it. All right. So 4 winning numbers. I've got mine: 14, 25, and 4.
3, 12, 26, and 9.
All right. Man, you say confident like you know where to go on already. Sit. I'm out long already.
Look out for all those numbers. Look out for all of those numbers.
We have to. I said some 500 too. My mouth long. My gosh. All right. Oh. Man. That's up on the last line now. Oh.
Come on.
I know, right?
Me and Jan, I have 25 and number that 26.
I've got 23 and a 25. Like I say, I've got 4, I got 3. Oh my gosh.
No all, no money bag.
No money bag.
12, 26, 9.
No money bag.
You know, but you
man,
don't let that discourage you.
I know we got some more, but man, you know, if you get up right now, you'll trip down because my mouth long. But check this out. So I've got the 25. I've got the 25 here, and there's a 24 with $5. But I got 25, and then I got 23 with $25,000. Chill. All right. Then I got 6. I have 4 with $25,000 too.
John, just continue to scratch, maybe something else.
Yeah, you gotta continue buying scratch. You know, imagine in your mind, I'm in an island somewhere. If I win this 25,000, that's where I'm going.
Yeah, man. But anyways, we've got another $5 ticket here. This one is actually the 20 times bonus, and you could win up to $100,000. Tell us about that one.
Imagine winning $100,000.
Fuck, man, on it.
A lot of
oh my god. I'm a special white. Oh,
$100,000 right now. would go far.
I'll tell you.
So our 20X tickets for $5, you have a chance to win $100,000. Same mechanics apply. There's 4 winning numbers at the top. You also see at the top there's a 50 bonus.
And a 20 bonus.
Yes. So in those spots you will see either 20 or 50, and say you have nothing else on the card, but you have a 20 there, you win $20 there, you win $50 there. So and then our mechanics is with that one, there's a 2X, 5X, 10X, 20X. So if you see any of those symbols there, it's directly what's below it. It's times by that. So if you have 20X times 2 at the bottom, it's $40.
Cool. Yeah. Sounds good. You ready?
Yeah.
You ever watch boxing and Manny Pacquiao's mom is in the audience?
No.
You never watch boxing and Manny Pacquiao's mom? No. Why when she's in a boxing she kind of take it, kind of ego so you know this one no.
Something in those.
Usually when we have their bonus, John. I left that for last.
Really?
Okay, you know, I'm going to Brighton.
Some people scratch at first. They're like, I need to get this over
No, I'm going to Brighton this time. I'm going to Brighton this time. So let's go winning numbers first. We could win up to $100,000. I'm going to Manny Pacquiao, man. Guys, I need to win. All right. What are your numbers?
What would you do with $100,000?
Kids College Fund. Thank you.
Priorities.
I mean, definitely foundation could use funding to continue the work that we're doing and also invest in our young people.
That's true. That's true. I date you.
Those are great.
28, 7, 13, 12.
And I want to call up my number because I feel like I'll go to the class too.
All right, let's do it. And remember, all these are actually in stores, man. Brighton. Check out breads. On 13 now, my boy. I tell you, I did the Manny Pacquiao thing. Let's see. Yeah. I'm out no long again. $5, my goodness. This is the happiness this thing bring in our house. All right. So you know, it's not hard actually.
No.
All right. Yeah, man. How you mean? I win $5.
What? I say a 5, yeah.
You say a 5? You're in a play.
I could get one 8 times, Tony.
Then I have an 8, but winning number 7, and under the 8 is $100,000.
Oh man.
I know.
But you see that 5 that you won on that ticket? Go back and reinvest it. Maybe that ticket that you win. We have a lot of people like that. They would say, "Oh, I bought $5 worth of tickets and I only won $1, and when I go back to the store to get another ticket, bam, $1,000."
Brighton. You know what I say when they catch me? Yo, another trick, yo. So I got, so I'm not gonna know about my winnings, you know. So I got 7 and I got 13 on my winning numbers, and I got a 13 for $5 and a 7 for $5.
Come up with 10.
I know the trick, yo. But drinks to everybody.
So John,
I love it.
I also won $5 too.
You win $5 too?
Yes.
Sweet. Oh, we didn't even scratch the bonus.
The bonus.
Oh,
So
Let's scratch the bonus. Let's scratch the bonus. Man, 0 by.
Oh no.
All right, 0 again.
But 5 and 10?
5 and 5, that's 10. I got $10, you know? Yeah. Lunch today.
Yeah.
That's lunch today.
Yeah.
So, I'll put this over my coffee cup. But tell us now, we've got the 50X bonus.
Yes.
We could win up to $250,000. Tell us about this game.
Same mechanics apply as a previous game that you have. You have 6 winning numbers this time. Now in the bonuses, you have $50 and $100.
All right.
So, like I said, you have multiples of 2X, 5X, 10X, 20X, and 50X. So, let's see what you win.
This is. You're ready for this, Alvin? You ready?
This is the 50X bonus. And you can win up to
that ticket is so long, so many chances to win 22 tries.
All right, so
Listen, make we get to it.
Let's get to it. You think we should have done the Manny Pacquiao?
It worked the last time.
All right, so we move this glass. All right, and then we get to scratching. So now I'll try to scratch the bonus first. You know what that means, right? Nothing.
Yeah,
Don't let that discourage you, though. Keep the good energy, keep the lucky energy with the winning numbers.
Lucky energy numbers are 17, 21, 1, 3, and 30 along with 29. A lot of numbers.
Be very careful with those and don't miss any of them.
All right.
I have 14, 2, 27, 30, 18, and 8.
All right.
Okay.
So, not yet, bro.
I'm feeling this.
You feel lucky? Man, not yet. Man.
Oh, don't say that. You rub it off on Brighton.
Okay.
You know, some people are scratching out complete silence and they say like, this is my me time, this is my therapy. Nobody bother me during this time.
The candle and all kind of thing. All right, so here we go. Man. I know. Well, Mr. Customer, I said salt beef, sir. So, I don't get nothing.
Wait, this is a 14?
Hey!
Wait, I got him $10.
So obviously, Brighton is a lucky one today.
Brighton, I tell you.
3 out of his 5 tickets won something.
You know what? Next Wednesday, no come off host. All right.
Brighton is buying lunch for everyone today.
Brighton's bartender. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's a good amount. So 29, 33, 1, 21, 17. I feel like I know to watch this thing correct. But anyway.
Watch 3 times, watch 4 times. We have everyone doing that.
Oh man. Oh. I got 3 and the 2 have 500. I got 29 and 21.
I have 2 as well.
You got 2 too?
And $10. So
and $10. What? This money is so weird.
So that's $20 off of this ticket.
Oh man.
Make a check again just in case.
Yeah, maybe you have more.
That's the thing. That's what I feel too. Like, all right, I know to check it to correct. Yeah, you roll up your winning one.
Brighton is totally buying lunch today for everyone.
He buy lunch today for you.
Yeah.
I swear.
Definitely.
Yeah. Let's get me some new socks. All right. But this is so great. It's a great way to have some family fun with a little bit of change that you've got, you know?
Oh, yes.
So, again, all across the country, where can we find these?
You find them in any of your local convenience stores. Anyone that's out there that wants to be a scratch and win agent, just send us a Facebook message. You can go on our Facebook. You'll see we're posting hundreds of winners, hundreds of thousands of prizes won every month. Last month we had 16 winners winning so many amount of tickets, like over $1,000. But you also have to remember, like all across the country, they're cashing out $100, $500. So, like with our hit games, if you can't catch Harry or catch a shot, so you know, just be very lucky. Have that faith. Buy these tickets. The $250,000 is still out there. $100,000 is out there. Our hit tickets loaded with $50, $100, $500 tickets.
Well, I tell you what, my next lead change, I'm going for the 50 times bonus because I could win $250,000.
Look, John, I was the luckier person today.
I know. That's why Shani say half of that for she. Just to say, I just want to make you know. It was a great time, man. Why not? You know, these games have been across the world for many years. I could remember back in the day having fun with them, and it's actually back now.
But Scratch and Win is doing it bigger, better
than ever.
All
right. Thank you so very much, Haley, for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Give me free $10.
I just got lunch. That's a nice lunch.
Very much so. So if you go to any store, you got some change. Hey, you never know. So stretch your luck, man. If you can't catch Harry, you'll catch it.
Sure.
There we go. We're going to take our final break in the morning. When we come back, we'll be wrapping things up. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
It's almost lunchtime and Alice is getting hungry and forgot to bring cash. She remembers that eCash now has a geolocation feature in which she can easily view the eCash merchants near her, especially restaurants. Her co-workers also ask her to order food for them.
Chicken chow mein, please, and a Coke.
The merchant sends her the payment link. She taps confirm, and within a few minutes, her food is delivered. Alice then views her transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made. Then taps the split the bill button, where she selects the unevenly option and moves the bar to the desired amount per person. The request is then sent to her friends. Her colleagues accept the request and are ready to enjoy their meals. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash make Alice's life a whole lot easier.
Download the SmartStream app on the Android Play Store and create your account to get access to movies and stream at home or on the go. Prepaid customers can purchase regular data packages or get a discounted rate on a special SmartStream package by dialing 7737. Postpaid customers will be billed monthly. Never miss a movie again with SmartStream.
And we're back, just like that, we're back. You would have smiled, I had a grin, I had a key. Because we had a great time with Scratch and Win. Pastime and a great household games there. And you could actually win a lot of money just by, if you got change, then pick something up. The new hit game is out there,
And usually it's when you're receiving your $1 and your $2 exchange coming out the grocery store.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's when
you see it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Try your luck.
I remember back in the day, man, your lead dollar or your lead change used to be saved for buy ideal. We could win some money with lead money, no. But it was a great time. I'd like to say a big thank you to Haley for joining us, and the Scratch and Win Belize for actually providing us with much needed fun for the morning, and of course much needed entertainment throughout the family for just a few bucks, and you could win a lot of money. So thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure. And this morning we were joined by representatives from the Department of Environment to speak about the implementation of the pollution from plastics regulation.
Definitely.
And so let's try to be more environmentally conscious in whatever we go to do. If you're consumers, try to buy products or purchase products or obtain products that are bio-friendly. And also, if you're a vendor, use biodegradable products to protect our environment and protect our biodiversity.
I'd like to throw in on that my pride of Belizean businesses who are actually now making or manufacturing these biodegradable plastic bags or plastics and food containers with big pride. Pride. And these are the businesses we need to continue to uplift, because Brighton, I'll tell you what, if the only way they can be better with what they've got is if they've got the capital too. The only way they could gain the capital is if you and I go and we support it. Right. And when they do that, they actually hire more people, so more people go at work. So we feed our families when we help each other. Right. That's always my point. So a big thank you to them for joining us. And also a big thank you to Stephanie Bradshaw and Jasmine Gallegos for joining us this month. the month of April. My month, by the way, I'll say, is actually labeled as World Autism Day, and they'd like for you to shine that blue light, you know, in your household. If it's your Christmas lights, you see Christmas lights yesterday. Yeah. So shine some sort of a blue light so you could be in solidarity with the folks who are actually with autism. All right. So thank you for joining us this morning. We've got to go. If you've got any questions, any concerns, without you, this is not possible. I continue to say that. And I'm so thankful that you were able to wake up, open your eyes, and start your morning right with us. There we go. If you've got questions, concerns, it's right here on the screen, OYE@channel5belize.com.
Yeah, you could also find us on our Facebook page at Open Your Eyes BZ.
Yeah, check us out on Instagram at OYE Belize, and you can join us again tomorrow morning when you open your eyes.
Start your morning right.
And as per usually, keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open.
We'll see you soon. Enjoy your hot day and make sure that you hydrate.
Right.
It's important to do that. Right. And let's take care of each other. We'll see you again tomorrow.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.